Hey, watch this. 1 minute.
History changes with one punch.
Peter is his name, boxing is his game. He hit him with the right, then he knocked him out the ring.
Peter is his name. Boxing is his game. Now, this is Now Tell Us. I'm your host, Anthony Morori. Today we have a person who has a documentary on Netflix, and I'm excited to go and meet him. And I hope you too are excited to go and meet him. This is the time to share this episode. And if you have a question during our show, please ask. If you have a comment, give us a comment. And we really appreciate every feedback that you give us. So, without taking one more minute, let's go and meet our guest today, who is known as Cam F. Awesome. Did I hear Peter is his name? Now we're going to find out what's all this about. So, let's go. Here we go. Hello, Cam.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is Now Tell Us, and we are looking forward to hearing what you've got to tell us today.
I'm excited. Thank you for having me, man.
Yes. And to get us started, we would love to know, where are you right now?
I'm in Kansas City. I'm
Okay.
currently in Kansas City. Yeah. How
That's
about you?
I'm in Athens, Greece.
Oh, nice. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, all the way the other side of the world.
Yeah.
Now, Come F Awesome. That's an interesting name, and I'm curious to know how it came to be.
I actually, it was a given name. I made it myself in 2013. I legally changed my last name to Awesome, as a reminder to always believe in myself.
Oh, that's a good one. And what
Yep.
about Cam? Is that your real name? Cam,
Yes,
C-A-M?
yes. So my name before was Lenroy Cameron Thompson. Everyone used to call me Cam. So when I legally changed my name, I changed my first name to Cam and my last name to Awesome and my
Okay,
middle name to F because it's a little funny.
that's good. That's wonderful. Now, and then along in the intro, when I was looking at the trailer to Netflix, it says Peter is his name. How,
Oh,
how
that
did it
that
come
that's
in?
someone else. That's someone else in the documentary. That wasn't referring to me.
Ah,
That
okay.
was another fighter's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Now, you've been there, done that, and experienced it all. And I tend to think you were born with a silver spoon on your mouth.
Oh, not even close. Not
Tell
even
us,
close.
tell
Uh,
us.
so I joined boxing when I was 16 years old. And I was living in New York and I was getting bullied, so I joined the gym to lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
And and I realized how important hard work is. And I realized if I worked harder than other boxers, I would be better than them
Mm-hmm.
and I would win. So
Mm-hmm.
what I realized is if you dedicate your time to something, you become great at it. And the more time you dedicate to something, the greater you would be.
Mm.
So I stopped doing everything. I stopped going to school. I stopped hanging out with friends, and I just dedicated myself to boxing. And within about 2 years, I became the number one boxer in the United States.
Wow, that's cool.
No,
Ah,
yeah, but I mean, it's a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication. I was walking 6 miles a day to the gym because I didn't have a car, so it wasn't a silver spoon.
okay. So,
But
so
I'm grateful because it was all that hard work made me who I am.
now you became a national champion. Now, how easy was that?
Uh, I, I would say with doing everything that was expected of me, because that meant like, so the hardest part about winning is being in shape.
Okay.
And being in shape means you have to be on weight, which means you have to be careful of your diet. You have to be disciplined. You have to sacrifice. You have to go on runs. If it's raining, you still have to go on a run. If it's cold, you have to run. If it's hot, you have to run. You have to work out no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And if you and I are fighting, Anthony, and we're training for a fight and we go into the ring and you have been skipping workouts and you've been dating girls and you've been hanging out and partying, I will never let you beat me, Anthony, because
Okay.
I'm better than you. I'm
Uh-huh.
better than you because I put in more work than you. And objectively speaking, that's the only thing that actually matters in boxing. So there's a lot of people who pretend to be tough and act angry. None of that matters when the bell rings,
Mm.
because the work you did in the gym, that's the only thing that matters.
Every day, wake up, go into the gym, exercise, get into shape, and
It's
keep on doing it.
it's dedication, and I think that's what's missing with a lot of people. It's a very competitive game, and not everyone could be number one. So you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose sometimes, and I think a lot of people, when they lose, they quit. But
Uh-huh.
when you lose, you learn. And if you quit when you lose, then that means you don't get to use anything you learned.
Mm. Don't quit. If you quit, you lose. Now, this is the title of our episode today: Fail into Success. How many failures have you had in your life, and maybe which is the biggest one that you can recall?
I'm still making failures every day. Every
Ah.
day I wake up, I fail. It's still a continuing process. So
Mhm,
in boxing, I've failed a lot. My goal was to go to the Olympics with boxing. In 2008, I qualified for the Olympic trials. I
mhm,
lost. 2012, I won the Olympic trials. I got kicked off the team. 2016, I won the Olympic trials. I lost an international competition, didn't get to go to Rio. In 2020, I won the Olympic trials, but then the pandemic happened and I didn't get to go to the Olympics. So
mm.
16 years of my life, I've been going after the same goal, and I've failed every time.
Wow.
Uh, Throughout my failures, I've gained a lot of wins. So I've won more boxing matches than anyone else in the history of the sport here in America. I've won, I believe, 14 national championships. I've won 3 Olympic trials. So maybe I didn't make the goal of the Olympics, but when you set a really big goal, even if you fall short, you have so much accomplishments on your way there, the journey, that the goal really doesn't matter at the end.
Yeah, I remember someone said that aim for the moon, because if you're gonna miss it, you are going to land among the stars.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh-huh.
and that's 100% true.
Mm. Now, you talk about failing, and failing is just comes in many, many, many ways. And some things we could expect to fail, some challenges we could expect to meet with them, but then some of them happen without us expecting, and we cannot even imagine that. And something that has been common with every one of us is the pandemic that you just mentioned, that you were preparing for something, and then the pandemic happened and it hit everyone in a way. Now, taking into consideration that Cam is someone who was supposed to hit the gym every single day, how did you maneuver through that period?
So with the pandemic, I was training for the Olympics when it happened,
Yeah.
and I was supposed to be going off to train outside the country, and then they canceled the pandemic, and you couldn't go to the gym, you couldn't work out, so I had to retire from boxing. The gyms were closed, so I decided to focus on my speaking business. But
Mm,
I mean, you'd have to run on the streets, you have to jump rope, you have to do whatever it takes. So here in the United States, I have a nice gym and everything like that, but I know when I go to other countries, they're like, we go to Cuba or you go to Dominican Republic, those guys, they don't have nice gyms.
mm,
They're making anything work. They, instead of heavy bags, they hit car tires. They
mm,
punch car tires instead of heavy bags. They don't
mhm,
have quality gloves. So me complaining that I don't have the best workout equipment, I mean, that's my privilege.
mm,
So I mean, I'm grateful that I have to have good workout equipment, but if I didn't have that, I would still have to find a way to get it. I mean,
mm,
yeah, treadmills are great. It's nice to run on a treadmill, but if you don't have a treadmill, you got to take your butt outside. You got to run on the road.
mm. So stop the excuses. You're gonna find your way out. I mean, you just gotta work out. Use anything that you've got. Use what you have to get what you want. That's what someone
Yeah,
else. Yeah.
Use what you have to get what you want, and sometimes you have to do the things you don't want to do to get the things you don't have.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
those
true.
are the reason why you make these sacrifices. But I mean, I know it's real easy to come up with excuses of reasons why things won't work out and why you shouldn't do something, or a lot of people are afraid to fail, or they're afraid to look stupid. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but I failed a lot, and my fear is not looking stupid. I don't think you can look stupid failing if you try your hardest. I think the only way to really feel stupid is not trying.
Mm. So at the end of the day, I look back and I see I didn't try something that I was supposed to try. Now that's a failure. Coming from Cam says Cam.
Yeah, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Ah,
Wayne
exactly.
Gretzky, Michael Scott. Yeah.
Netflix. How did you get there?
So in 2012, I got suspended and kicked off the Olympic team,
Okay.
and uh, I left the country and forgot to tell the drug testing agency, and they
Mm-hmm.
showed up to my house in Kansas City to give me a random drug test. I wasn't there. A missed drug test is a positive drug test. I fought it in court. I filed an appeal because I went to fight in Azerbaijan. That's why I wasn't in America, and you had to get drug tested to fight in that tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So I took it to court. I tried to fight it, but I still lost the court case. I was suspended for boxing for a year.
Mm.
Uh, there was no suspicion that I was doing any drugs or anything, but I didn't send in the paperwork. And I don't know if you remember, Lance Armstrong went on Oprah
Mm-hmm.
a few years ago, a few years before that happened, and the drug testing agency made an example out of a few athletes.
Mm-hmm.
I happened to be one of the athletes, so I was suspended for a year. So
Oh,
I didn't get to go to the Olympics. I lost my dream of going to the Olympics. I had to take a year off from boxing. When I returned to boxing, I decided to change my last name to Awesome. Uh, because I wanted to come back with a new attitude. I wanted to be positive. I wanted to believe in myself. And if you change your last name to Awesome, you have to believe in yourself.
wow.
So I changed my name to Awesome, and then Netflix reached out to me and they wanted to document my story from returning to boxing in 2013. And they documented me as I won nationals every year, 2013, 14, 15, 16, until I won the 2016 Olympic trials to represent the US.
Wow, that's cool. And now talking again about changing your name. Now, and we have people who are listening, and this is a reminder of the power of words, and in this case, the power of names. And I don't know what your name is. Do you ever sit down, whoever is listening, and think, what does your name mean, and how has it contributed to whatever it is that you have achieved so far or not achieved?
Yeah, Anthony, do you, so you believe words are powerful?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Do you believe it's important to be humble?
Exactly. That's what I believe. Maybe you're gonna give me something new.
I disagree with being humble. I
Okay.
think being humble is a weakness.
Ah,
So do you have your phone or anything? Can you look up the definition of humble right now?
I can look at for the definition of humble in say,
Look up the definition and read me the first definition. And you said that you believe words are powerful, right?
yeah, they are
So what is the first definition of humble?
the first definition of humble is not proud or haughty, not arrogant or assertive, reflecting, expressing, or offered in a spirit of deference or submission. A humble apology. And
Okay, and
now,
read me a second definition.
okay, then I'm going to read you the second definition. Ranking low in a hierarchy or scale.
Okay. So ranking low in hierarchy. So is that a positive trait?
That's a negative one.
So read me another one.
Okay, now I read you another one, and the other one is insignificant and
Oh, does that sound positive, Anthony?
oh no, it doesn't. It doesn't.
So why would you ever be humble? If words are powerful and you're supposed to believe in yourself and you're
Yeah,
supposed to believe you can accomplish anything, why would you ever be humble? Now, if you looked up the root Latin word for humble,
yeah.
it means lowly,
Mm-hmm.
low,
Mm-hmm.
little, small.
Yeah.
Do you want to be little, small, or lowly?
I don't want to be
No.
low or small or lowly.
So why would you be humble? That's what being humble means. And if words are powerful, we have to start questioning the words we use. So when someone says, "Hey, humble yourself around me," they're saying, "Hey, don't be too big around me. Make yourself small." So with that same thought process, if you say, "Hey, I'm going to accomplish great things, but I'm going to be humble,"
Mhm.
do those two things go together?
Yeah, kind of a contradiction. Although
Contradiction.
I think depends on the context of the word.
Anthony, what you're thinking right now is you're so, because as people we're so tied to the concept of being humble
Yeah.
that we want to fight. You see the definition, you know
Hmm.
the definition, but you're so conditioned to be small that you're trying to defend it, right? It seems uncomfortable because it's like, why would it seems silly, right?
Hmm.
You will only be as successful as you expect to be. And if
Hmm.
you expect to be lower on the hierarchy, that's exactly what you will be, Anthony.
Hmm.
I
Interesting.
don't believe in being humble. I believe in believing in yourself. And that's why I changed my last name to Awesome. And the thing is, I don't believe the opposite of humble is arrogant. I'm not
Mhm.
saying to be arrogant,
Yeah.
I'm saying to believe in yourself. Now, if I believe in myself and I'm up here, right, Anthony? And
Yeah.
you don't believe in yourself and you're here, right? You don't believe in yourself, you're here.
Hmm.
What you want me to do is you want me to come down to meet you. That's
Hmm.
me being humble. No, you come up and you meet me. I'm not going to be humble so you can be comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is
Okay.
a different way of thinking, and I don't expect everyone to agree with me, but I want to challenge the way people think.
There's some sense in that. I mean, when you take that context, because in everything, and especially the example that we've been given, you can always have two definitions, and in everything there are different perspectives to how you look at it. So this is the perspective that you're looking at it, and the context under which this word is being used is going to determine whether you're going to accept the humbleness or not.
Yeah.
I,
What are
I,
your
I hope
thoughts?
you can agree to that.
Now that you know what the definition is, what are your thoughts?
Now, I stick to my idea of the context under which this word is being used. Now, when you talk about going after your goals and humbling, being not going, not taking that extra step, not saying what you're capable of doing, or not expressing your capabilities to the outside world, then I think that's where your definition applies. So that you've got to shout, you got to say it, you got not to be humble there. But then when there is a matter of respect that is expected in a meeting, in an organization, in a setting, then that's why I think the word humble in placing yourself in that hierarchy comes in. That's my own thinking anyway.
So you're saying like you have to lower yourself in the hierarchy when like you're in a work meeting or something.
Maybe when
Yeah.
depending on your ranking, depending on the respect that you're expected to offer the person that is up there in control, that is given the authority.
So what you're saying is you just accept that someone's above you on that list in the
Of-
hierarchy list. So I
no,
don't accept that anyone's above me on the hierarchy list. We're all
e-
equal.
even in an organization, when we have the president, the vice president, the manager, and you're down here, you're working your way up, you don't accept that there is that hierarchy.
So I own my own business, and
Yeah.
one of the problems that I find is I speak at schools, and the
Mm,
superintendent is the highest person in that school.
yeah.
I had someone tell me, hey, don't send a Calendly link to a superintendent. You have to call them. You have to be respectful. You have to be humble. And I
Hmm.
said, no, I don't, because I don't subscribe to their hierarchy. I don't
Okay.
think because he's gone to more school than me, he's any better than me.
Hmm.
I don't think he's any smarter than me because he went to school. I think we are equals. I will treat him like as an equal, and I expect him to treat me as equal. But I will not make myself seem smaller so he can feel bigger. Now, what the reason why we got pulled into humble is the religious context of humble, which
Okay.
I don't disagree with.
Hmm.
Like being humble in the eyes of the Lord, yes. But
Hmm.
Anthony, are you the Lord?
I am not the Lord.
You are not the Lord. Why do I need to be humble to you, Anthony? You're not any better than me. I'm not any better than you. We're the same. I believe you are awesome as well, Anthony.
Ah, okay. So I mean, Man, that's some education that we are getting today and looking at in a different perspective. And maybe now there's also this approach where we don't look at the negative words and just focus on where you want to be, the what you want. So I will stick with the awesome and maybe humble, leave it in the religious context.
Yeah. Leave the religion. Being humble is important in certain contexts, but in
Yeah.
your everyday life, when you're setting goals, you
Mhm.
can't set a high goal and then be humble. That's counterintuitive. And if you are humble and you aren't reaching your goals,
Mm.
that's probably why. Believe
Mm.
in yourself a little more. And I would say lean on the side of arrogance if you have to. I think
Okay.
it's important to most people are too unconfident.
Uh-huh.
They should err on the side of arrogance because then you can believe in yourself and then you can pull it back.
Mm.
But I do believe it's very important to believe in yourself, but it's hard to believe in yourself if you're going to be humble. Literally, being humble says you're not going to believe in yourself too much because it makes other people uncomfortable. That's the definition of it. Now, we start to look for other definitions because of our social conditioning
Yeah.
and the religious aspect that is played in our lives, but it's just
Mm.
something to consider. You don't have to agree with
Yeah.
it, but it's something to consider.
And we get it. And thank you for that concept and that perspective into it. And it means something. I mean, there's some real, there's something there, some context, some content there, that good content. So we keep going. Now, you speak at which areas, which parts, organizations, or which settings do you give your speeches to? And
So I speak at
how far have you traveled so far?
So I'm all over the United States. I've been to over 30 countries with boxing, but I've only spoken in 4 countries,
Okay.
4 or 5. So, well, Canada, England, Scotland, and Portugal.
Yeah. And who book you? Who books you for speaking?
I do my bookings myself, but I speak normally at corporations. I
Mhm.
do retreats. I speak at schools. I speak about resilience, gratitude, hard work, dedication. And as captain of the USA national boxing team, I traveled to over 30 countries.
Mhm.
And what we would do is before we go to the country, as captain, I would have to learn the facts about the country, the do's, the don'ts, the culture. And then I go and I relay the message to our teammates so we don't
Mhm.
make ourselves look like fools in other countries.
That's good. That's
So,
good.
and I want to we want to be respectful when we go to other countries and learn their culture. And, and because I've done that in all these countries for 15 years, I've learned a lot about culture from all over the world. So now I speak at corporations and I talk about cultural communication.
Okay. Which has been your most interesting country to visit and why?
Ooh, I would say Finland was fun. Very friendly people, very educated. Everyone there speaks 3 or 4 languages. If you don't speak 3 or 4 languages, something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
And when they see you and when they know you're from the United States, they speak to you in English and they're like, we speak to you in English because we know people in America don't know other languages. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. You're right. We don't know.
Yeah.
So it was
Exactly.
cool to interact with them. They're very intelligent people and very kind, and they like to feed you.
Mm. Mm. I'd like to go there. I like food.
Beautiful people.
Yeah. Have you been to Africa?
I have not been to Africa. I want to go either this year or next year. Where would you suggest I go?
Let me see. What part of Africa have you been in an interest in before I suggest my destination?
I have no clue. It's such a big continent. Where would I start?
Okay, let me campaign for my motherland. Go to
All
Kenya.
right, Kenya.
That's where Obama comes from, or the father of Obama,
Yeah,
to be precise.
yeah.
Go to Kenya.
Kenya. Okay.
Yeah. Any idea of putting a book together, or have you done so already?
I'm considering putting a book together. Here's my thing about a book is so there's 2 ways to go about writing a book.
Mm,
There is having a message and then writing a book about that message and selling that message as the book.
mm-hmm,
Uh, the other way is to become very interesting
mm-hmm.
and then you write a book and then people will want to read it. I don't think I'm as interesting enough yet to write my book.
We think our viewers today think that you are as interesting as
I don't think anybody will want to read my book yet. I need to go do more amazing things in life, and then I'll write a book.
Why not? But already you're making a big. You've already made, not you're making. You've already made a big impact in the world. So keep on doing
Thank you,
what.
brother.
Yeah, keep on
Appreciate
doing.
that, brother.
Yes, and I look forward to meeting you one of these days. I mean,
Hey, I would love to come to Greece,
you're most
or I can
welcome.
meet you in Kenya.
Yeah, whatever I'll be, or maybe I'll be there in the US and we meet. That would be
I'd love
awesome.
that.
That would be
That would
awesome.
be awesome, man. That would be awesome.
Look forward. Now, in failing, what, and I think we have not mentioned what has been your most lowest point.
I would say 2012 when I got suspended and kicked off the Olympic team.
That was
I
your lowest.
lost. Yeah, it was the lowest. I lost everything I had. I was on my way to go to the Olympics, and I lost. I lost my money. I lost my sponsorships. I lost my chance to go to the Olympics. I lost my ability to work for a year. And it was. I was heartbroken. I was heartbroken.
How wild were your thoughts back then? Did you think of something?
So were my thoughts back then?
Yeah,
Uh,
at that down level. I mean, what were you thinking? I mean, this is the end. I'm gonna, oh, because there are people who have been there and they've given up on life and taken their own life, or maybe done things that they can not retrace their path back to where they want to go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I drank a lot and I didn't handle it well. What I do now is right now I do this gratitude practice
Okay.
every. So if I were to go back to 2012 to that time, I have now tools that I've created to help me get through these times. So one of the things that I do is I have a gratitude practice I call 300 reasons.
Hmm.
Every morning I wake up, before I look at my phone, I write a list of 10 things I'm grateful for.
Hmm.
I'm grateful for my house. I'm grateful for my car. I'm grateful for my washer. I'm grateful for my dryer. Those are two different things. You can be grateful for everything. I never repeat anything on this list.
Wow.
After 30 days, I have 300 reasons why I should wake up on day number 31. If you
Cool.
understand how the human brain works, it
Uh-huh.
organizes information. So let's say, Anthony, you wanted to buy a yellow car. So you went out yellow car shopping. Now you didn't get a yellow car, but after that, you just started seeing yellow cars everywhere.
Hmm.
Has something like that ever happened?
Oh, it always happens. And I've had this, the women say, oh, now since I'm pregnant, I'm seeing all the other women are pregnant. I mean,
So here's why. This is why your brain works. Your brain takes in 40 billion with a B, 40 billion bits of information every moment.
yeah.
Billions of information. The way your brain organizes that information is your RAS, your reticular activating system.
Hmm.
It's in your brain, so it acts as a filter. So if you ever heard what you seek is what you will find. So when you
Exactly.
start to look for yellow cars, you start seeing yellow cars everywhere. Once you realize you're pregnant, you start seeing pregnant people everywhere. Those
Mm.
cars were always there, but there
Yeah.
are so many cars there that your brain only shows you what you're looking for. And
Hmm.
the very second you started to look for a yellow car, you started seeing yellow cars everywhere
Hmm.
because that's how your brain works. So when I woke up every morning with my gratitude practice and I started to look for things to be grateful for, what do you think I started to find in my life?
Things to be grateful for.
They were everywhere. So when we say that happiness is inside you, this is what it's meant. You can search, because I went to all these other countries. I did a lot of things looking for happiness, and I didn't realize it was inside of me. And it takes me just a few minutes every morning to do this practice. But these three to 5 minutes I use every morning to start my day has made my life so much better. Because every morning I wake up, because I've been doing this for over 2 years now. I never repeat anything on this list.
Hmm.
Every morning I wake up, I have to find 10 things that are going right in my life. That sounds crazy for so many people
Hmm.
because if I told them to find 10 things wrong in their life, they could point that out because they're always looking for the bad. So if you retrain your brain to look for the good, you'll start to find happiness in your life. You'll start to find joy and you'll start to find things to appreciate that has always been there.
Mm. That's good. That's cool. So to everyone who's listening or watching out there, you gotta start looking for the good. You better start looking for the positive, and then you're gonna find it there. It's there already. See who's not focusing there.
Yeah. Look for the awesome.
Yeah, look for the awesome. Says Cam F awesome. Now, apart from speaking to corporation institutions, and or do you work with people one on one? I'm just curious.
So I don't work with people one on one. I just I travel. I travel 300 plus days a year, and it would be hard to work with someone one on one. I have a lot of people who reach out to me to ask. They want me to coach them into getting into the speaking business because I've built a successful speaking business for myself.
Mhm.
But I realize like, and I could coach someone because I figured it out, but I'm so busy doing it that I don't have time to coach it. And I
Mhm.
think maybe when I get older, maybe if I have kids, maybe when I settle down, maybe when I don't want to travel as much, then I'll start coaching and stop doing it as much. But Anthony, I love what I do so much. It's crazy that someone pays me to do it because I would pay to do it. I'm always working, so I don't really have time to coach.
Wow, that's cool. But people can follow you because there are those mentors that don't have the time for us, but once we follow them, we can always learn from them and being mentored by them. How does that one
Yeah,
happen for you? What
you,
do you
you
suggest
can.
to follow you?
Yeah, you can follow me at CamFAwesome at CamFAWESOME on all platforms. If you have any questions, maybe I can't coach you hourly or something like that, but reach out. I'm an open book. If you have any questions, shoot me a DM, shoot me an email. You can find me at www.camfawesome.com as well.
Okay, that's cool. So that's go to camfawesome.com and you get more info.
Nice.
Yeah, camfawesome.com, get more info and connect. Follow Cam. He says he doesn't know about that. But if you have a speaking event that is coming, you can always invite him. Yeah, if you have
I
a
love that.
institution, an organization, anywhere in the world, he knows his ways around. He knows the culture there. Don't be worried about him messing.
Especially if you're in Kenya. I'm coming to speak. If you're in Kenya, come find me. I'm looking for a reason to come to Kenya.
Yeah, there is a group that is going to Kenya next month. I should connect you with them, and maybe you could fly them within the shortest time possible if you have an opening.
Please connect us.
Yeah,
I love spontaneity.
yeah. There's a group coming from the US going to Kenya to speak at universities. I'll connect you with them, and we'll see.
I love that.
Okay, so that's about it for today. Our episode is over. It shouldn't have ended, but it's come to that.
I'm enjoying talking to you, Anthony. I'm enjoying our time together.
Yeah, me too. I've really enjoyed, and I believe every viewer, every listener has enjoyed this episode. One of the best episodes so far, in my opinion. Thank you, Ekam.
Appreciate you, brother.
You're awesome, and you brought awesomeness into this episode.
You're awesome too, Anthony.
Yeah. Now, before you go, we always ask our guests to leave us with a few words that we should always remember. Which are yours?
If you can fail without being discouraged, success becomes inevitable.
I have nothing else to add.
Thank you for having me, Anthony.
That's awesome. Thank you for coming to Now Tell Us. We really appreciate your time.
Have a great day.
And all the best. Yeah, this has been Now Tell Us. I have been your host, Anthony Morore, and we have been having our guest, Cam F. Awesome, and together we are saying bye for now. Go out there and be awesome.